Hello, welcome to The Sacred Journey. The Sacred Journey is the program that reminds you that life is a wonderful adventure, and each and every experience we have is a unique and perfect opportunity for learning. I'm Joyce St. Germaine, and my guest is my dear friend, my yoga teacher, Kristen Corp, owner of B Yoga in Avon, and I'm honored to say that Kristen literally taught me to be a yoga teacher. So the more I learn about yoga, the more I find, I'll use the word magical. It's almost like magic, and I see Kristen shaking her head. And tonight's program, well, today's program, you may be watching at night, but it's a lovely summer day. Immunity and yoga, how yoga affects every cell. So Kristen, thank you. We just completed another episode on yoga that I'll invite people to search for. But when I say yoga is like magic, people go, oh yeah, it helps you to relax, or it helps you to be flexible. Wow, it does so much more.
It does so much more. You know, the most common statement that people share with me in regards to, especially people that are new to yoga, when they come back to class is, I can't exactly put my finger on what felt so right, but it felt so right, and it's the way that I want to feel all the time.
Okay, well, we're filming this in mid-August, amid the whole COVID-19, which is why we're doing this social distancing.
Yeah.
More than ever, people are aware of immunity. I mean, it used to be a seasonal thing. Or in the winter, we don't want to get the flu, and now it's a constant, I don't want to say concern, I want to use the word awareness rather than concern.
Right.
Elaborate a little bit on
Yeah.
what yoga really does on a cellular level.
Yeah. You know, Joyce, from a very simplified version to a very complex analysis of how yoga affects every cell, I like to keep it simple because I think that what's available to us is our breath, moment to moment. So many of us, despite even being aware of it, are breathing from our upper chest. Much of our energy in life, especially in the subculture that we live in, is about movement and motion, movement and motion. Check this off, check this off. We definitely, in many environments, almost, it's a rite of passage when you have reached a point of exhaustion.
And multitasking, that became the badge of honor.
Multitasking, which we now know, right? There is no multitasking. There's only distracting and fragmenting your attention to different areas. But we all have access to being aware of the way in which we're breathing. And I love to start my personal practice each and every day, even if it's a 2-minute practice, by just closing my eyes and noticing, where is my breath? How compact does it feel? How expansive does it feel? Whereabouts is it in my body? Where is it most certainly not in my body? By relieving stress, we reduce inflammation. If that's the whole takeaway from this conversation, is by alleviating stress on the different systems in our body, we reduce inflammation, and by reducing inflammation, we build our resistance and resilience to outside pathogens which affect our inner landscape.
Let's back up a little bit. Could you teach
breath.
Basic breathing? Like you said, when I'm, as a hypnotherapist, when I'm guiding people through breathing, I can tell the people who have a yoga practice. Yeah. They breathe, we call it a Buddha belly breath. Yes. I can see it. They certainly are aware of it and sometimes I have to stop the session and focus on just breathing.
Just breathing.
So a simple
just breathing. Whether you're sitting with the heels of your sitting bones to the earth, or you're sitting with the heels of your feet to the earth, I always start by just acknowledging, for better or for more challenging, where it is you are. And I often refer to it as like a first batch of pancakes, just tossing the breath from the body the first few rounds. So I simply inhale and I exhale. And I draw the breath in through the tips of the nostrils. And I exhale with a sigh through the mouth. And then one more time, I inhale. And with my exhale, it's a full release and letting go. I think about unlatching my jaw. I think about reseating my eyes. I think about releasing the base of my body towards the earth, while extending the top of my head towards the sky. By lifting and lightly lengthening, I feel that we create more space internally to be absorbed, to allow the breath down deep in your belly, almost as if you were watching a baby breathing. In yoga, we refer to the three-part Durga breath, or the three-part yogic breath, as breathing in through the low belly and out through the low belly. Breathing in through the low belly, we then bring the breath up a little higher, in and around to the upper abdomen. And then the breath descends from the lower abdomen to the low belly. And then we bring the breath in from low belly to mid belly, lower ribs to upper ribs. And then with the exhale, we descend the breath upper, middle, lower. I share that by keeping your mouth open, that immediately releases tension and tightness from the jaw, which relaxes the shoulders. Just 3 or 4 breaths like this, sprinkled throughout the day, is a great way to alleviate stress.
Thank you. Just those couple of moments.
I know.
I hope viewers did it with us.
I hope
if
so
not,
too.
you can rewatch.
Pause and do it. Yeah.
And practice
Yeah.
that. What else can we know or learn or practice about yoga, or at least understand about yoga,
Right.
that will help us with the movement?
Right. So many of us sit a lot during the day, and whether you're sitting at a desk at a computer, or whether you're sitting at a desk, tending to something else, sitting in and of itself creates a lot of compression and stagnation in our lower back, which results in, for many, many people, lower back pain. That lower back, and I'm just going with lower back pain, it could be shoulder pain, it could be neck pain, it could be whatever. My point is that the compression, which can then lead to stagnation, which can then lead to tension and tightness, then leads to tension and tightness in our minds and in our movements. So taking 30 to 60 seconds, even a few times a day, helps to lift our energy, helps to calm our energy if we need to, helps to open up the nervous system, which then supports all of our glandular health.
And have you ever started a yoga class to say, what would everyone like to work on, and had no one say lower back?
Right,
seriously?
right. Lower back and shoulders, right? Lower back and shoulders. So just sitting right where we are right now, I share with people, even if your arms extend comfortably up a few inches from your body, that's fine. If your arms come up a little higher above your heart, this is going to increase the heartbeat, and this increases circulation. So then we bring our arms up even a little bit higher towards the sky. We can feel our physical heart and the energy of our heart lifting. Maybe even if we bring our fingers to touch, this length might be something that we don't experience much through the day. When we extend our arms up overhead, we automatically have a slight extension or a slight back bend, which increases, for many people, their level of openness, spaciousness, joyousness, joyfulness, happiness. When we then bring our arms down, and we could take our chin even to our chest, and as our chin comes to our chest, we then find that we're rounding and we're slightly folding forward. This movement is something that's very relaxing to the nervous system. It's calming if you've had a business brain all day or you've been in the busyness of your brain. It also is something that's very good to do in the evening to help prepare yourself for bed. We all know the numerous benefits in regards to how important it is to sleep well. So doing these movements at night, forward folding, helps ensure a better night's sleep. When we wake up in the morning, similar to how many of our animals do, right? They stretch their arms forward, they extend through their spines to create space. We could do this sitting here, forward folding, and extending through the spine. We could do this at a wall where we're releasing. We could do this with our hands to the back of a chair. We could do this with our hands on a table. When we rotate or revolve or twist in one direction, this helps if we think about our spine as a great river. This helps from the nerve roots to the nerve endings to create a little bit more openness, right? Breathing in one direction. I always like turning my head in the opposite direction from my twist, so I get this really nice length and openness, which allows our brain to move from thought to thought and action to action with a little bit more ease. Taking a breath in and exhaling. We could come back to center. I like to think inhale, lift and lengthen. And then we could exhale and turn in the opposite direction, turning maybe our head over our front shoulder. This whole spherical rotational twist from root to bloom, I like to say often, helps free up the nervous system. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back to center. Really, I was kind of dragging that out, but it could be as simple as 30 seconds.
How about necks?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people been having issues
Yes.
and discomfort. You see people standing
Yeah.
in line in a store or
Yep.
sitting down, just trying to give
Right.
themselves some relief.
Tech neck, many
Yeah,
of
there you go.
are experiencing, right? Even if it's just on our phones. Also, with the way this year has been going, with so much stress and strain, many of us have tended. We're kind of sloping inwards a little bit, so that which puts so much pressure on the neck. Something so simple that you could do is think about the back of your head going to a wall so that there's a slight tuck through the chin, which helps to lift and lengthen the side of the throat. If you gently press the very center, as if you had like a $50 at the center, the back of your head, and the chin moves slightly down, I notice, I don't know if you notice, that there's a lift
Right away.
There's a core strengthening, which is going to go back and help support our organs, our vital organs, and our abdomen. Also, it's going to help support lower back. Yeah, so, and then of course, there's so many delightful, simple neck movements that we could do to help release the snap, crackle, popping of the neck. But that proper posture helps whether we're standing with our feet or literally we're standing on our hands. It helps to decompress the entire flow of everything that's within our body. Blood, lymph, intracellular,
Talk about lymph a little.
Yes.
I think that is
Yes.
studied, known about,
Yes.
addressed.
Absolutely. So one of the ways in which yoga, without becoming complicated in your poses, one of the beautiful ways that yoga helps move lymph in the body is because yoga often takes us upside down. And people will say, I don't want to stand on my head. I don't want to stand on my hands. You don't have to. Standing, we could stand up and just simply fold. I'll just kind of demonstrate that. Folding forward like this. Folding forward like this reverses the way in which energy and fluids are normally being drawn down, gravity towards the earth. Lymph in and of itself does not circulate without our assistance because it moves with the support of like a pump. So if you're on a trampoline, for example, super healthy, a healthy thing to do, your lymph is going to move up to then move out of the lymph nodes to be recirculated, repurposed, recycled. So in our yoga practices, since we're not jumping upside and down, we could come to a forward fold. Downward facing dog is a very popular way to move the lymph in the body.
And a modification can be done seated.
Absolutely.
So that someone who doesn't care to or isn't able to do a standing forward fold.
Yes, absolutely. Folding forward just like this, right? Folding forward, if we were, if we thought of a chair being right out in front of us, that's another really nice modification. One beautiful thing to do at night is to take your legs up over the edge of a chair or up a wall. That's going to help circulate lymph in the body.
And great for if you're traveling, whether you've been in a
Right.
car, on a plane. I'm not
Right.
embarrassed to go into an airport, find a quiet place on the floor, legs up the wall.
Yeah.
Literally lying down,
Yep.
legs up the wall. Your body will thank you. It will be so grateful.
And one of the things about all the time that we've been spending at home with a lot of the Zoom online classes, I say to people, whereas you might not have brought all the props you want to your mat at home, we all have a wall nearby, a chair nearby, a table nearby, lots of support at home.
And in bed, you can
Yeah.
just flip around,
Yes.
use the headboard
Yes.
for your legs up.
Yes. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the total support of the wall, you're not exerting effort.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah.
What else do we need to be aware of during these particularly unusual and trying
Yeah.
times for immunity?
Yeah.
Winter coming, changes of season.
Yes.
If you have children going back to school, coming back in the house, their immunity and yours.
Yeah.
Any modifications for children or any things that would be great for children before
Yeah.
they're going out into groups again?
Yeah. I have to say that I am, as I think I shared earlier, such an advocate for making things accessible and available within our time constraints. The simplicity, whether you're sitting or whether you're standing, of a modified sun salutation is going to move your spine in the 6 directions that it does. It is going to rotate and move the pelvis in its 3 directions. It's also going to help with the different proper placements of the head. Doing those few movements in and of itself is going to increase your tidal volume for breath. It is going to give you the stimulation to the nervous system, the release to the nervous system, the balance to the nervous system that you need. And
Yeah.
I'm happy just to stand up and do a quick
Is
demonstration.
it like a half sun salutation when you say modified?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about how we might not want, depending on where we are, to put our hands down on the ground. But we could certainly, yeah.
Let's show us.
Okay, great.
It's one of my favorites.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. How about, just so our arms don't touch, maybe I'll
Okay.
move back a little bit further and we can show. Yeah. So depending on how tall your arms extend overhead, our feet are about hip distance apart. Our knees draw up, our thighs draw in, our pelvis, this pelvic bowl is in a neutral position. I always like to begin by emptying, so we'll take a breath in, and we'll exhale through the mouth, and then we'll extend the arms up overhead. And maybe if it's comfortable, we'll look overhead. And as we exhale, we're gonna stretch the arms out, and we're gonna take our spine forward, our hands maybe to our shins, to our ankles, or to the earth, chin to chest. And then we'll inhale, press your hands to your shins, look up halfway. And then we'll exhale, let's bend our knees this time to get a really nice round to our spine. And then we'll slowly roll up through the back body, rolling up, rolling up. Yeah, you're drawing your arms up overhead. I'm going to demonstrate by just drawing my shoulders up, back, and down. So just a slightly different variation.
Modifications.
And then we'll bring the hands to center. Another wonderful, strengthening, easily accessible stretch is to draw the arms up, to interlace the fingers for a little bit of support, and to lean over to one side. To come back up, lean over to the other side. And I always like coming back up, and then I interlace my fingers and I flip my palms forward and I round my back. And then drop your arms. 60 seconds.
Yep, everybody can find that much time in their day.
Yeah. Yep.
Think.
And we could build on that in so many different ways.
If I am just moving about through my day and I'm just feeling a little like I could use a little something,
Yeah.
half sun salutation is my go-to.
Yeah. I totally agree.
It just
Yeah.
offers so much in just a short
It's-
amount of time. Simple movement.
It's like I think of ourselves in many ways, our systems, as a mirror. And over time, mirrors all accumulate dust. If we don't tend to the dust, just like on my glasses, over time, it changes our perception, and it takes away from our sharpness. So if we think of the 10 systems in our body, we don't even have to think of them as 10. We could just think of our body as a miraculous machine. If we don't change the oil, if we don't wipe the lens of it, over time, residue builds.
Yeah, and if you don't use it, just like a car,
Right.
the systems
Right.
aren't functioning and operating.
Right.
Now, we have a little less than 2 minutes left. I want to let viewers know that yoga truly is for everyone.
Yes.
And you are a wealth of knowledge, information, experience, compassion, love, all those wonderful things, and we will share your contact info
Thank
with
you.
people. What do you want to be sure our viewers take away from our short time together about yoga and immunity?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. There are a multitude of resources that people can find in their libraries, online, on TV. Yoga is accessible by everyone, whether you're in a bed, whether you're a triathlete. It just really requires the willingness to take a few moments to spend time within the inner workings.
And let's be sure to offer it to our children.
Yes.
I think that's
And our
greatly
elderly.
needed.
And our elderly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us again. Grateful to you for sharing knowledge and wisdom. And grateful to you. Thank you for joining us on this sacred journey. We'll catch you next time.